Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden and I am the creator and author of the Get Resultsology system and a dedicated accountability coach. My mission is to empower solopreneurs to unlock their true potential, boost their income and achieve extraordinary success by maximizing productivity, streamlining their businesses and aligning their goals with their authentic vision and purpose. If you're ready to turn ambition into action and transform your goals into reality, you're in exactly the right place. And I am delighted to say that our guest expert this week is Connie Whitman. Known for her energetic, passionate, heart-centered and enthusiastic approach to sales, teaching and coaching, Connie Whitman has served as the CEO of Changing the Sales Game for over 25 years, assisting business owners, leaders and sales teams in building powerful organizations. Connie is a 4-time #1 international best-selling author, including her book ESP, Easy Sales Process, 7 Steps to Sales Success, as well as a speaker and podcast host. Her inspiring teaching, transformational tools, and informative content help business owners and salespeople increase revenue streams through improved communication skills. Connie, welcome to Goalbusters.
Hi, Robin. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored to be here, and let's have some fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I'm really honored that you're here too. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this today. What time is it where you are and whereabouts are you?
I am in New Jersey in the United States, and it is literally 11:11 a.m. right now. I love that number, 11:11. The angels are talking to us, Robin.
Well, yeah, I call that coffee time, and where I am, it's 4 p.m. in the afternoon in England, and I call that, it's too late for have another coffee, so that's not so good. So I'm quite envious. Can I come and sit with you for 10 minutes and make a coffee?
You can.
Shall we crack on with the questions?
Sure.
Okay, so I'll put the clock on the screen and we'll make a start. And there it goes. Connie, could you tell me, please? Let's talk about what you do. Who is your ideal client?
So it's funny because when COVID hit, prior to COVID, my clients were banks and credit unions. And then COVID hit and small business owners started asking for help. Who knew, right? I didn't realize that. But really, my ideal client, banks, credit unions, any other financial industries, financial institutions across the United States.
Okay, wow, that's quite a big market then, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, that's excellent. Thank you. So what is the problem or problems that you solve for them, please?
I'm assuming banking is similar in England as it is here in the United States, but I guess about 15 years ago, banking changed its perspective or approach with clients from being very transactional to hopefully having better conversations, because we had all these options, right? And now you had the internet, people could do research. But what I found, and obviously my background, I was a financial advisor 100 years ago, but when I opened my business, I realized that the employees had been with banks and credit unions for a long time. And now they were told you have to sell. Well, how do you do that when your mindset is one of transactional, operational kind of perspective to having these conversations? So my vibe, or when I go in and I train, again, I work with the entire organization, all divisions within the bank or credit union. I teach them literally how to communicate. But here's the kicker for me. I think that sales has this persona of ick. And I believe that when we communicate effectively, we're always coming from love, care, and respect. So I think that's one of the big things that bankers and credit union folks feel comfortable with, because it's easier than saying, get in there and sell and ask them a million questions and sell the checking account. It's no, understand the client and then make the correct recommendation. Because, Robin, let's face it, money is important. And most people do not know how to manage money or understand money, right? So this is an important role bankers and credit union folks have.
And great, amazing. Thank you so much. I used to work for a bank and I've been right through that exact point, moving from being in the service industry to being in the sales industry and having to juggle both at the same time. It
Sure.
is quite a mind twister. And people like you were when I was there, we desperately needed help with that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So then, what is one valuable free action that the audience can implement that will help them solve the problems that you've outlined?
So here's the thing, your audience, they can use this skill even in their personal life. When I teach and train, Robin, I believe we're one human, right? So if we're not healthy in mind, body, spirit, we're going to be crappy out in the world, right? So we want to make sure we're always in alignment. So what we use at work, we should be using these skills in our personal life. So here's the tip. You should be asking open-ended questions. You should be curious about fill in the blank, your kid, your husband, your spouse, your mom, your dad, a client, a prospect, doesn't matter, your boss at work. If you're trying to articulate and share an idea that you think is really important, again, whether it's a client or an internal boss or your kid that you want them to do something, ask questions. So we have to learn to shut our mouth, ask questions, and then what I call go into listening mode. So my rule of thumb is we should be listening on average about 70% of the time in all conversations, not just work conversations.
Thanks. I now know I don't need to hire you because in that short statement, you've just explained selling perfectly. And I feel like I've completely mastered it. I am,
Yeah.
I am joking, of course, but I am joking, of
Yay.
course. But the point is that some people think selling is all about talk, talk, talk. No, it's not. It's about listen, listen, listen. And that's
That's
what you've
right.
said more
That's
eloquently
right.
than me, but that's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. So now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive into goal busting, focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. So could you share any more tips or advice for someone looking, but specifically to improve their productivity habits, please, Connie?
Sure. And it's not sexy, Robin. Have a to-do list, work your to-do list, have a plan, work your plan. I mean, it's all things that we certainly know, but I will share my to-do list. I break it a little bit differently. So I keep it as almost a fluid document for the week, really for the month. So I have my to-do list. I prioritize every night before I close out. What are the major things I know I have to get done tomorrow, non-negotiables, if you will. So I put them at the top. Now we all know fires happen, things happen, life, right? So now you might have to go in and reprioritize. The other thing I do, I always have projects I'm working on for clients, etc. I take my to-do list and at the bottom, I have those projects I'm working on. So some things I know I have to make sure I get Robin notes for our podcast by Wednesday and it's a Monday. So it's kind of, I label it, my to-do list as like a ABC. You'd be a B on a Monday, right? By Tuesday, you'd be back to an A. So I keep it very fluid and moving, but now it actually becomes a tool. So I just go to that and say, what's my next priority? Especially I'm running, like all of us, we're trying to fit a lot in. So have your to-do list, get it on speed, if you will, but organize it really, really well. Have a plan and then work the plan. I know, right? So mundane. It's so boring.
Yeah, but I like the ABC, although I got to say I wouldn't dare make you anything less than an A on any list I put together.
I love you.
Okay, thank you. So finally, what should I have asked you today, Connie, that I didn't? And your answer, please.
I think that we're in a world where people are just rude and abrupt with each other because we're busy, right? And we do have a lot going on. Here's my tip that you didn't ask, and it's not sales related necessarily. We have to turn off our notifications. We have to be much more mindful and present with the people that we're engaging with in the moment, not, oh, I should have said this, I should have done that. Oh, I have to follow up. We make more work for ourselves by not being present and in the moment and truly honoring that person in front of us. But you never know what you're going to learn or if they can help you with a project you're working on, because we come in with our agenda instead of let me have just a lovely conversation with this human that is in front of me. I think we're always rushing. We got to stop rushing.
Yeah, perfect. And also, you said the word what was right at the tip of my mind, which was agenda. You got to come in with an agenda to work with them, but also stop working to other people's agendas. That's the whole point about turning notifications off.
Right.
Yeah, you know, if you need to, somebody needs to get hold of you, they'll find a way if it's really urgent.
That's right.
But the reality is, if you are always working to their agenda, then when do you have time for yours and the people that you need to prioritize?
And people are demanding, Robin. People are demanding.
Yes, they are. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of demanding, what happens if people are demanding to get hold of you, and how do they reach you? See what I did there? A little segue there.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, well, I'm quite skillful with stuff like that, he says immodestly. So, okay, so how can people get hold of you? And also, I always ask a very cheeky question. Is there a valuable free resource they could get from you as well, please? Because now would be the perfect time to mention that.
And thank you so much for that little plug there. I have a gift for your listeners. It's my communication style assessment. I believe that everything we do really boils down to having stellar, open, honest, authentic, real conversations without offending the person we're speaking with. So when we each of us individually, we have a communication style. So we have blind spots. So you take a little quiz. I think there's 25 questions. You'll get 2 reports. One report just spotlights your natural communication superpowers, meaning you don't have to think about it. You talk. That's how your message lands, which is great when we're talking to people like us. What happens? The lowest score they'll receive, your listeners will receive, typically that's a blind spot. So be careful, really read that report, because it'll shine a light when you're speaking with people 180 degrees different than you. How is your message landing? We really want to make sure that our message lands appropriately. So I gave you that link. It'll be in the show notes, I'm sure. Everyone should take it. It's my gift. And if they have any questions, of course, they can email me at Connie@changingthesalesgame.com. I am happy to answer any question.
You'll have to excuse me. I've got to run because I've got to go and do that survey right now, because that sounds really handy.
You're a good student.
Yeah, okay. I like to give that impression. Connie, that has been wonderful. I have learned so much from you today in just a handful of minutes. That's been really powerful information there. Genuinely, I'm interested in the survey that you're giving away. That's very generous offer and very valuable information, more so than I think, you know, at face value. I think that's very insightful what you're offering there. So thank you for that too.
My pleasure.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Robin.
Goalbusters. Thank you.
A true honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate, and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.